did you always think you were gonna get into radio, or like what was the goal initially? Like when you thought about what you were gonna do growing up, like what was the goal?
So I think growing up, right? So when I was a little girl, I actually hated my voice and my name. I remember I didn't like my voice, I didn't like my name. Radio was not in my mind. I would see like I think like at one point like Pebbles went to, I do remember this. Pebbles went to a Boys and Girls Club. Was it a Boys and Girls Club? It was some type of thing when I was a little girl in school. You know, Pebbles from German. And she did like a little talk for all the kids. And I don't know why that always stuck by me. But it wasn't like I looked at it and I said, oh, I want to be on radio. I always say it was like a God's journey. Like, this is God's journey. So I'm in for the ride, but it's all God. Like, he, at some point when I started learning about the law of attraction, I don't know if you practice it or, but it started with motivational speakers, maybe like, how long have I been doing this for? Like motivational speakers and everything, probably like 15 years. Started with motivational speakers. And then like I used to get the chills. And I used to be like, it's trying to tell me something. Because I'm very I'm an empath, and I do have some, believe it or not, I actually do have some medium abilities. So I would be like, it's trying to tell me something, but I can't tell what it's trying to tell me. And I think like I have this one friend of mine that we're girls, we fight, we come back and forth. And every time she comes in my life, she comes in to teach me something different. And at one point in my life, she came to teach me the law of attraction. And I saw the movie, The Law of Attraction. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm big on
The Secret.
The Secret. Yeah.
And then after that, I did more research. And there's people that watch it and they don't care about it. They're like, okay, I watched a snippet of it. Oh, that's cool. And that's it. And that's okay. That's just a phase that they're in their life. You know, you can't force anybody. And then I feel like there's people like me that's kind of like, I want to know all about it. So I went all out. And then, of course, algorithm. So the more you watch videos of now law of attraction, it's going to give me more speakers and more to feed off of and everything. So some way, somehow I started piecing things together. Oh, this is why this is happening. This is why this is happening. And I actually came across, even before I knew the law of attraction, I had come across somebody that had said to me, have you ever done radio or TV? I was modeling for a Heineken event. Okay. And I was like, no. And this is like way before I even knew about law of attraction. And I was like, no, why? And he was like, do you want to learn? And he's like, you have a great voice. And I'm like, okay. So I went into this little radio station in Cambridge. And I used to always say to him, because he never took advantage of me, never, there's like a lot of sayings that for you to make it, you have to be sexual with certain people. I can't say that that's everywhere. And now that I'm at iHeartRadio too, by the way, like people that have pushed me the most are very spiritual and they're all about God. And I appreciate that so much. That's how I knew that I was working for the right people. But nobody has ever like pushed me to do something sexual. As a lot of people say, like, oh, what did you have to do?
Yeah, how did you earn it? Wink, wink.
Yeah, how did you earn it?
Can I have you pull the mic just a little closer? Yeah, perfect. Like yeah, so much better, yeah.
Yeah, how did you have to earn it? And so point being, like, I used to say that to him, like, why me? And he used to be like, you have a great voice and whatever. So with him, I started learning about radio. And I used to learn how to talk. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. And I started liking it. And I used to just work my ass off. Like with him, I learned to interview Farruko. Do you know who Farruko is? No, he's like, he's kind of like a big daddy Yankee.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, you're talking about like the artist. Yeah. Okay, I'm a DJ.
Before he even made it. Yeah. So Farruko, before he even made it here in the U.S., he had already made it in Puerto Rico. But even that guy that had started me in radio, like he brought Farruko down. I have the interview somewhere. It's pretty cool. I gotta look for it myself. And so I did a lot of stuff with him. I learned TV and I learned radio because he did both local TV and radio. And then after him, this is how I know it's God. I remember I asked somebody, did you, what did I say? It was a girl that was working with me and with the radio with him as an intern or whatever you want to call it. So we have no experience, no college, no none of that. And I said to her, hey, your boyfriend works at the station called Omega. And I said, do you know if they're hiring any girls? And she said, they're not hiring girls. They don't really hire girls for that radio station. I said, okay, all right. I was at another event where I was also modeling. And one of the this is like a year or two later, one of the DJs in that radio station happens to be there doing a remote for radio. And he said, have you ever done radio or TV? And I was like, yeah, actually, because now I've been doing it for like a year or two in this little
Cambridge,
local TV.
Right?
Yeah, in Cambridge. And he said, well, we have an opening for a girl. Like, is this something that you're interested in? Because I think you have a great voice. That's another, like, God putting people in my life. I was like, okay, yeah, like I would love to go. I went and tried out. I got the job. But in Cambridge, I had only learned to talk. I hadn't learned how to do the board and all the buttons.
Sure.
So when I got to that station, I got the job and everything. And I get to the job. Can you tap on this? Down. I get to the job. And when I get there, they finally throw me, I don't know, I did like a whole day of just recording things. A week later, they call me, you got the job, whatever. It was like a week or two later. You start this date and whatever. And I get there and I'm like, because I don't know how to move the board. I know how to talk, but I'm like, what's this button? What's that button? And I was too scared to say, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, yeah.
So I kind of like had the guy that like got me the job to kind of be like, can you just like, I don't know, show me a little bit of how this works? And he showed me the basics. There was a lot of things that I did not know. I messed them up so bad. And then poor things were like, well, we're not going to take you off air, but I think you need a little more training. And we're going to put you on the weekends for now. Teach you a little bit more. And then eventually you'll come back, and be here throughout the whole, whatever, Monday through Friday or whatever. And that's exactly what happened.